From sports to after-school jobs or simply hanging out with friends, a student's day can fill up fast. Without a car or driver's license, many view the popular ride-sharing service, Uber, as a quick and convenient way to get around.
I do prefer Uber over the city bus just because the placement of the bus stops aren't conveniently by my house where I can just walk and take one bus down to my location. I have to take multiple transfers.
With extracurriculars, like maybe someone missed the bus to go to a certain place with the rest of the group, or if there isn't enough room and they won't have time to come back, you can take the Uber to get there in time.
What students and even parents might not know is that Uber has an 18 and over policy that requires all riders under the age of 18 to be accompanied by an adult. Sacred Heart's parent, Mrs. Stella Silva, supports this policy as a way to keep her daughter safe.
I think teenagers shouldn't use Uber by themselves. For one, we don't know the person driving the Uber car personally, so therefore they're a complete stranger. We don't know how safe their driving is. And who would be responsible if there was for instance, a car accident? Who would be responsible for my child? And what would happen to them?
Despite having the policy in place, some students and parents, such as Lexi Freitas and her mom, support the use of Ubers by teens.
The benefits for taking Uber is that if the parents aren't able to take you, and if you don't know the routes for the bus, you can give the Uber the exact location that you want to go.
Children are so involved with extracurricular activities, and there's so much more involved in being a parent nowadays. Everybody needs to work. It's nice to just have that, in case of emergency, being able to use Uber.
There are consequences for those who disregard the policy. In a statement, Uber says for drivers to ask them to confirm their age and let them know that they will have to cancel the trip if they are indeed under 18. Our 24/7 customer support team reviews that feedback and takes the appropriate actions, which can include removal from Uber. But some passengers and even drivers like Bernadette Rosano believe this policy should change.
I think a good thing that Uber could do is actually have more of a process where they screen people to evaluate if they would be a good candidate for picking up minors. That way, if that selection is picked, there's more of a safety net for parents to know that they're being picked up by somebody that has been vetted by the company and is good with minors.
In response to re-evaluating its minor policy, an Uber spokesperson said, "In a few markets, we recently tested a program where teenagers aged 13 through 17 could ride with Uber unaccompanied using a teen account that's connected to a parent or guardian's family profile."
I think it's good for high schoolers to have a mode of transportation that allows them to get safely from point A to point B, and using technology is a good way to do that.
Even if Uber does one day change its policy, some parents will remain cautious.
Still no, because I have no idea personally about the Uber driver. I think it's more on a personal level when you let them go with the Uber driver.
I'd like to know what precautions they're taking as far as the identification and age of the student. So I'm not sure how the app is a little bit different for their accounts. I would like Uber to provide maybe a little bit more information. I think it might be a good thing.
This is Rebecca Meyer from Sacred Hearts Academy for HIKI No.